Poor pay, ballooning class sizes and increasingly challenging working conditions have pushed primary school teachers to breaking point. Hundreds of Auckland teachers walked off the job today, the first of a series of rolling strikes taking place across the country this week. The strikes come after teachers rejected a new $700 million pay deal. On Friday, our reporter Nita Blake-Persen and cameraman Nick Monro visited a school on Auckland's North Shore to hear from teachers and students about the pressures they're under.
Target Road School is bursting with kids. It's set up for 340 students, but there are 422 here. Once a week they all cram into the school hall for assembly, so teachers can have 1 hour of precious non-contact time. As the population of Glenfield skyrockets with new subdivisions and townhouses popping up, more students are pouring into classrooms every week.
Our class is a new entrant New 1 class. We have got 22 children currently, with the possibility of having more. At one stage of the year we had 24 kids, which when the government caps, their advice is to cap new entrant classes at 18, is unrealistic at this time when we can't get teachers in to fill the positions, especially for new entrant New 1. I'm just going to shut that.
We can pause if you want to.
Joyce, do you want to come and stir it while I pop it in?
Rebecca Osborne is one of several teachers here who are part-time. She shares her class with another teacher because the demands of working full-time are too much with her young family.
Well, I do my school hours, and then after hours it's most evenings, a couple of hours most evenings, and some parts of the weekend. It is a really difficult job to balance when you have a family. And I was always told when I was studying and first started teaching, it was a great job to fit around your family, but I don't find it great to fit around my family.
Today she's used her own money to buy groceries to make a meal with her students. Spending time with kids is the part of the job she loves, but things have changed in recent years.
I first went on maternity leave in 2011. I can remember being in the office with my principal. It wasn't at this school, it was my previous school, and there was a stack of CVs on her desk, almost to her head, a lot, over 100. And she said, this is what I've got to do tonight. I've got to look through all these CVs and find someone, and I've only got 2 jobs, and I don't, then I've got to ring all those people and let them down. Then when I went on maternity leave in 2016, they actually couldn't find anyone to fill my position. This year we've had to do move-throughs in our classrooms because we can't find teachers to open new entrant rooms. We can't find relievers to be in our classes if we're sick. There's just no one.
Like many schools in Auckland, Target Road faces an uphill battle to fill its classrooms. Students are often taught by a changing cast of part-time, full-time and relief teachers. One class has had 5 different teachers this year.
Do you notice lots of teachers coming and going and relievers and change and things like that?
So many. I'd say we'd have at least 2 relievers per week. We have our main teacher for like 4 out of the 5 days, and we'd have a reliever for that whole day, or we'd have a teacher like for 3 days, and then 2 other days we'd have relievers. Like every single week this term we've had at least 1 reliever.
Sometimes it's Miss Daisy, sometimes it's Miss O.
I really just wish we had 1 teacher. It's kind of like sad when like your teacher's gone, because like then you don't get to spend more time with them, and if you're split class then you don't get to like really know like their personality and that.
Do we want you to have lots and lots of different teachers every year?
Target Road's principal Helen Varney says the cost of living is driving teachers out of Auckland, and schools are competing for the shrinking pool that remains.
In term 3, there would not have been a single day go by when at least one of my classes was split because we couldn't get relievers.
Ms Varney, who's been teaching for nearly 40 years, says the government hasn't been doing enough to attract trainee teachers for years.
They cannot recruit enough people into our teachers' colleges. The classroom of the old days, when everybody knew each other in the street and everybody came from a very similar cultural background, and the majority of your children spoke English as their first language, are gone. The classroom now is a It's a melting pot of richness, but it provides wonderful opportunities for people to learn about each other, but it also sets in place some difficulties around resourcing and teaching practices and teaching.
Helen Varney says poor pay is a big part of why teachers are leaving, especially when overseas schools are offering tax-free incentives along with living costs.
Now, if you were a qualified teacher here and you were then going on to earning only 60,000 or even 70 if you're at the top of the line, you still have to pay tax, you've still got to pay for housing, you've still got to pay for your children. Why wouldn't you go? So what we have to do is we've got to look at how we're going to keep them here. How we're going to keep our best quality teachers in the profession so our kids have the best quality education and future.
Pupils here might still be getting to grips with maths, but they reckon their teachers are worth more.
Teachers don't get good money, and I find that sad for the teachers because some teachers like Mr. G are so nice, but they just have to leave because they can't deal with the money down over here because it's not enough.
They have loads of kids, like 430 kids, and they have to teach them for 6 hours a day. So I think they should get a fair amount of pay.
They're fabulous. You learn so much in their class, and they're not only making you learn, they're making the learning fun.
Learning that might become more difficult in the future if Target Road and other schools like it can't attract more teachers. Mō te hōtaka o te ahiahi nei, ko Nita Blake-Persen, aho.